Hey guys, as you know, RuneScape 3 is officially being released on June 17th, which is just 1 week away. So this has the potential to create a huge impact on RuneScape 3 as a whole, and in this video I will be discussing the potential impacts that I see it having on the game. Also, if you guys haven't already registered for RS3 Mobile, make sure you do using my link in the description of this video. We will be receiving some awesome rewards if we get enough people to sign up, including a 7-day 50% XP boost if we reach the final tier. Anyway guys, I really hope you do enjoy. So first things first, RuneScape 3 Mobile will definitely create an increase in the player base, at least for the short term. So Jagex has promoted the release of RS3 Mobile pretty well since they have created a few ads for it, and it was even featured on the front page of the App Store this past month and most likely will be in the future when it is released. Now RS3 Mobile is looking to be one of the top MMORPGs on the App Store alongside Old School RuneScape Mobile, which was released in October of 2018. Now, this is going to be huge because mobile in general has a massive player base that RuneScape 3 has yet to tap into, and we're obviously going to get a short-term boost to the player base, but the real question is whether these players are going to stick around. For me, I think the main factor that will help keep players around is how they integrate them into the game and help them learn the basics. So as we know, a new tutorial is being developed for the release of mobile, which will help players get a better feel for RuneScape and the things that you can do in the game. However, the hardest part for a new player to grasp is going to be the combat system. It's really complicated with the various abilities, and a decent tutorial is going to be necessary to help newer players learn how combat works. Of course, having some really helpful tutorials on YouTube that explain combat in RuneScape 3 is really helpful for new players, but having an actual tutorial in-game would be the best since all players will access that. So hopefully we do see some sort of combat tutorial within Tutorial Island that is being created, and that would really help players stay after they try out RS3 Mobile. Now, to give us an idea of how many players will be coming into RuneScape 3 after the release of mobile, we can compare it to Old School RuneScape and how it performed. Now, before the release of Old School RuneScape Mobile, it had right around 50,000 concurrent users on average. However, the game saw the player base skyrocket to over 100,000 users following the release. Now, the problem here was that the more casual players slowly left the game, resulting in a steady decline, but it still did manage to average right around 70 to 90k players within that decline, which was about a year. So while it is likely that we do see something similar with RuneScape 3 Mobile, it won't be identical. Old School RuneScape was unique since it was able to bring that nostalgic feeling to many people that remembered playing RuneScape as a kid. RuneScape 3 will have a much different impact. Rather than enticing people to play the game because of nostalgia, RuneScape 3 will most likely grab the attention of mobile gamers who are looking for a solid MMORPG to play, and since the current selection of MMORPGs is quite weak on the App Store and mobile gaming, this could benefit RuneScape by getting brand new players that have never heard about RuneScape playing the game. This would be a pretty substantial feat, and it would really help the game. Just increasing the player base and getting brand new players playing the game would be fantastic. We do have a lot of high-level players in the game and very few low-level beginner players. So having an influx of new players will definitely help the entire game and balance it. So it would be really nice to see this happen. Currently, we are at an average of 30 to 35,000 concurrent players, but I would anticipate an increase to around 60 to 70,000 in the first few months following the release of RS3 Mobile. But this all depends on just how well RS3 Mobile performs on the App Store. It would be nice to see an active player base of around 45,000 for the long term, but of course, only time will tell, and we would need a lot of players to really enjoy the game and stick with it for that to happen. Now, even though RuneScape 3 will be accessible on mobile, it is still a PC game at heart, meaning that many players that try the game on mobile will probably end up switching to PC at some point. So RS3 Mobile is built for AFKing, and this complements RuneScape well since there are a lot of AFK methods in the game. But since mobile will make AFKing more accessible to players, we should expect an increase in the volume of players doing AFK methods. Now, this will have a few potential impacts on the game, likely including a drop in price for AFKable items such as energy from divination, ores, logs, raw fish, etc. Also, I would expect the GP per hour to decrease on a lot of AFK methods since more players will be doing them. One of these methods definitely would be corrupted scorpions. It was even mentioned that Jagex may be looking at nerfing some of these AFK methods as well, since they were already filled with bots, but I am sure that mobile will just make it even busier, so you should expect the GP per hour for these methods to decrease. Now, with that being said, having more players perform AFK activities will also increase the demand on some items as well. These may include aggression potions, sign of the porters, or the items to make sign of the porters. I could also see some items like PVM gear increase in price if we happen to get an influx of new players who will eventually be looking to buy this mid-tier gear. Of course, these are all just speculations, and it is quite difficult to predict what will happen to the RuneScape 3 economy following the release of RS3 Mobile. Now, the final topic that I would like to discuss is the possibility of this affecting future updates. For a long time now, RuneScape 3 has been dominated by maxed or near maxed players, meaning there is a large percentage of the player base that regularly plays endgame content like fighting high-tier bosses like Tello, Solak, Raksha. And as players begin playing the game, this may shift and give developers more incentive to work on mid-tier content as well, or even skill reworks, which will benefit the newer players entering the game. At the very least, the release of RS3 Mobile will free up the developers' time. There has been a lot of developers working on RuneScape 3 Mobile for years now, so maybe we will see some more regular updates in the future because of this. All in all, RuneScape 3 Mobile will create a positive impact on the game. It has the potential to substantially increase the player base, which is extremely difficult to do, but would be a massive win for RuneScape as a whole. Let me know in the comments below how you guys think RuneScape 3 Mobile will impact the game, and if you agree with my speculations. Also, another quick reminder to register for RuneScape 3 Mobile before the release date so that you will gain access to a bunch of cool rewards. The link to do that is in the description below. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.